Whoa, what up? No, it is another Tuesday. It is Thanksgiving weekend. I am ready to get fat and watch some football, but it's not time for that yet. We got some fights to talk about. We got the return of our guy Joe Hitman 187 Elmore to talk about his co-main event fight for BKFC December 6th. But you know the deal. I got to tell you about the homies who help bring you this show, and that is our friends over at Potter's Tree Service. If you're in the need for tree trimming, storm damage cleanup, lot clearing, walnut logging, cut your grass, anything to do with a tree, you don't got to call Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You just got to call Asa Potter and Potter's Tree Service. All the links and all that stuff are in our description, so I promise you, if you're in the need to take care of some trees, Asa Potter is the way to go. Make sure you use those links in the description and enjoy the show. But before we get to that show, I got to give a big shout out to our guy, Greg Caton. Any of you guys around the Detroit wrestling scene have probably seen Greg at some point or another, whether he's a referee or helping put up and take down the ring. We've all been kind of waiting to see what had happened. They said they had found out that he passed. So I just want to give a shout out to Greg Caton and his family and kids. This show is dedicated to Greg Caton. If you can, check out the GoFundMe link in the bio and show them some love. Enjoy the show.
This is the Ring of Honor, a.k.a. Shane T, boy, the baddest champion you ever seen, boy.
This is Mr. Anderson.
This is good old JR Jim Ross, and you are listening.
You're listening to Knockouts and Three Counts.
We got a new world champion.
That might be one of the craziest knockouts I've ever seen in my life.
Knockouts and Three Counts is the podcast, baby. It's the real deal, baby.
Knockouts and Three Counts starts now.
Ooh, what up? No, that's right. It is another Tuesday. This is Knockouts and Three Counts. And man, we got some fights to talk about. We got the return of our guy, Joe Elmore. Thanks for the time, my man.
Yeah, my pleasure, dog. Thank y'all.
Hell yeah, man. Well, first of all, before we get into all the biznatch, I got to give a shout out to our other sponsor, Mitten Muay Thai. I got to do commentary for them this past weekend. And now I got to figure out how I'm going to get my other suit clean because I got blood all over it. It was a good damn time. But
I see the pictures, dude. It looked gnarly. Dude. Not gonna lie.
Oh my God. Like this dude looked like he had a flap on his eye. Like his shit was leaking everywhere. It got on my glasses, on the inside of my glasses, on my suit, on the shoulder of my suit. My man's was leaking. So if you guys haven't checked that out and are watching this on Millions, make sure you go check out Mitten Muay Thai 4. And I need to know if you guys are watching this, if you were at the fight. I want to know who you guys had out of Mason Shalahi and Luke Marshall, because there seems to be a lot of controversy, but hey, I didn't have to judge this fight, so ain't my monkey, ain't my circus. But with that being said, my man, it's been a minute since we've got to have you on the show. Tell us what's new in the world of the Hitman. First of all, shout out on the black belt.
Yeah, man. Black belt Gracie, 20 plus years of training, 15 years with Professor Fabio. Got that black belt. I've been focusing on it, man. It's been easier since I left MMA. I found that it's easy to separate things and enjoy things separately because it's never about training any transitions. My boxing is my boxing. My jiu-jitsu is my jiu-jitsu. I've fallen in love with the gi, whereas I was in MMA. I was always the no-gi, the wrestler. So it's, that evolution has been fun. Being Professor Elmore, I've evolved a lot, man, and done so many different martial arts, and it was just that time. So it's a big proud moment I got to have, and nothing else has changed, man. Still training to be a violent man and bare knuckle and get my red belt, blood red.
There you go.
I mean, you seem to find that every fight. So, I mean, that being said, I feel like you might find it again in this one. Hopefully, it's his.
Yeah, dude, it don't matter how much collagen I take, dude. This skin is popping.
You told us last time you was related to Jerry Lawler, so maybe it just runs in the blood.
Dude, did I tell y'all about being my first experience, like my real memory of meeting Sergeant Slaughter, Flying Brian? My mom got the referee at the Mid-South Coliseum at a match, and my cousin Mike Smith, my uncle Tony, owned the ring at Dyersburg Championship Wrestling, Mid-South Championship Wrestling. He had the rings, and you know how underground that stuff was in the South. Everybody knew everybody, and
yeah.
And my mom got to go down there, but I got to go in the back because she was being the special guest referee. They were going to steal my cousin's leg, and beat up everybody with his bum leg. And I met Sergeant Slaughter in the back. And when I got back there, he had a razor blade and he was cutting cuts in his eyebrow. And it was Sergeant Slaughter, Flying Brian. God, man, it was a lot of the old school famous guys. And it was a brick glove ladder match. Todd Taylor, Jerry. And anyway, I was like, what are they doing? And they're like, oiling each other up, cutting each other's face with razor blades. They're like, dude, we're going to hit each other, but we got to bleed. And I'm like, what? And then, like, it was real. Like, people think wrestling's fake. They were hitting each other. But not only were they beating the crap out of each other, they entertained the crowd and, like, the hardcore old school wrestling. And they were cutting each other just to make sure they bled. So people would be like, yeah, they wanted it to squirt too. And he said, I wanted to squirt on them. And I'm like, so that character comes in me. It's I thought maybe when I was a kid, I wanted to be a wrestler or I wanted to be a rock band fighter pilot because of Top Gun came out. But yeah, no, because I had that in my family, in my blood, I got to go around it. Yeah, I carried that into my fighting, dude. It was very important.
How old were you when you seen that?
Man, I was a kid, 5, 6. I'm born in 1982, so I was a kid. It was a long time, maybe 86, 87. God, I was
an intro to wrestling, right, Kyle? I mean,
damn straight. I mean, you're talking about a lot of good ones. You talk about Flying Brian. I know his kids these days, dude. Yeah, like his kid wrestles these days for WWE.
My one of my best friends I did karate with, that got his black belt with me, Daniel Booker. His the Moondogs, those were from Dyersburg too. The Moondogs actually lived in Dyersburg.
Hell yeah!
Booker did, wow, holy
hell
shit.
yeah, man! Taking them back with the wrestling, dude. We just had Greg Gagne on here a few months ago, so taking it back that way. But dude, let's get back to what you got going on, man. Talk to me about your return to BKFC. Was there anything from the last fight? Because that's the cool thing about this matchup. Both of you guys are really kind of in the same spot. You're both coming off a loss. Both of you guys need a win. Talk to me about what you have seen different in training. Was there anything you felt like you had to change in between these fights?
Yeah, I'm not injured. I'm fighting at home. I ain't got to worry about the home crowd and a close round going to the other guy. I mean, I've lost 2 split decisions, and I had a torn shoulder when I fought Leonard. So this is having this year off, getting to focus on striking with Coach Kelly, which is a whole nother thing too. I've focused on my pure boxing. I've always been a vicious, badass son of a bitch that ain't gonna get dropped to the ground, and I'll fight anybody any day. The Terminator, I don't give a fuck. But excuse my language, I don't give a shit. But I want to look pretty, man. I'm gonna go out there and I want to knock this bitch out. And I don't want people to say, "Oh, he was tough and he knocked him out." Well, man, I'm gonna knock this dude out, and it's gonna look easy and pure and artistic. And y'all are gonna talk about my jab and my straight punches. Holy shit! What, y'all didn't know I could do that? I mean, I've always let myself turn into a meathead to entertain everybody because y'all see I get excited. But I've really got in power, mind, body, and soul. I've moved on to a better step in life, financially able to take care of my kids. I feel like a better father, a better husband, a better son, a better dang of a leader. I've become a professor in jiu-jitsu, and it's just been more of an evolution of me as a human and taking myself seriously and dedicating every single ounce of my time, dude. I do 4 to 6 hours a week in a hyperbaric chamber treatment. It helps when you got a Dr. Scott Barber and Barber Orthopedics is sponsoring you and unlimited treatments and care and concern because he loves his athlete for no other reason. I've got Activate IV, one of my sponsors, giving me leg compressions every day after training. I sit in a cryo every day. I train at Torch MMA, and Keenan, he has a spa. This is a really nice community. They have like their own baseball team. It's like one of these neighborhoods in Georgia, Bridgeville. Most people that live here know it. But he's got a little thing up front. It's a little spa. But he lets all his fighters and kids use the spa for free. So it's like he has his clients he makes his money off, but the fighters get the benefits of the cold plunge tub, the red light therapy. So I take my time now because I'm financially able to, between my sponsors and BKFC and the businesses I've invested in, and me being smart over the last 5 years and not blowing things and investing in myself. I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to put my business to the side, have people run the other little side hustles and businesses like my construction and my French train company, things I invest in, and and focus on myself. My wife, my kids, my family is all supportive. It's hard to beat somebody like that. And now that I've got it all together, it's gonna be hard, impossible to beat me, because it's him versus everything else I've learned, my family and everything, and it's just him showing up. He didn't know it's a fucking team sport.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna have the proverbial fifth man in there with the crowd out there in Atlanta. So now that you brought it up, let's talk about it, dude. What are your thoughts on getting Derrick Findley as your next opponent for this fight?
I mean, I had a different opponent, and for whatever reason they couldn't take it. I don't assume. So I just they changed my opponent to Derrick Findley. Whoop his ass. He's somebody else. He's in the way of what I want. I think he's an awesome dude. He's had a great journey. It's almost 60 something, almost 70 boxing fights, 3 fights in BKFC. He's got more experience than most anybody there, regardless of what his record shows. I mean, you can say the same thing about me, but when you're fighting the top 5 fighters in the world, it's and you're fighting for world titles. He's fought, what, I think 13 or 14 WBA world title matches. Wow. So I mean, it's not like people just don't do their research. They talk their shit. So I'm prepared for this guy to hit hard and do what he's got to do. But he's just another face to me, man. He's 5'6". It's nice to fight another short guy like me. It's nice to fight another guy with power. It's a boxer that I can outstrike. So not only can I display what I've learned and how I've evolved with my striking, and it's going to be against a boxer, and I'm going to pick a boxer apart and whoop his ass. And the only hope he has of beating me, I'm going to take that hope from him, and it's going to be beautiful for the fans, and I'm going to retire his ass. Sorry.
Them strong words, man. You answered my next question too. I was going to say, we talked a little bit about that black belt and the background you had in MMA. Do you think that that's something that can be a difference maker for you against a guy like him? Because like you said, it's like a pure boxer.
Now go look at his stat records. He landed 78% of his punches from the clinch. So I don't care what kind of boxer he is. His stat says he's slow and he can't control the outside. I'm fast like a motherfucking bullet. I'm gonna come in there and sting his ass and be gone, circled around through the other side. He don't have the peekaboo movement necessary to beat a guy like me. So no game plan. He can train for whatever he wants. He can hear me say what he wants to say, but I'm faster than you, and you ain't getting no faster. I'm stronger than you. And I mean, the one chance he has is doubling up on that left and getting lucky and dropping me. But dude, I ain't never been dropped by a punch. I'm not saying I can't be, but it's a hard motherfucking factor, because I've been crack-a-lack. And if he does, I'm getting back up. I'm going to be more pissed off. If y'all ever seen me, the more I bleed, the more damage I take, the more pissed off and vicious I get. So that'd be the worst thing he can do. So the one chance he's got to beat me, it's going to put him in a deeper fucking hole. I mean, I don't know. There's always that chance, and I'm not underestimating him. I'm just talking about myself right now. I mean, I am the healthiest, most powerful mind, body, and soul version of myself I've ever been. I'm in control of that energy, but it's like, oh man, I'm on weight, y'all. I'm on weight.
Dude, shredded.
I'm
shredded, bro.
I'm on weight, and I'm 2 weeks out. I haven't even cut yet. I'm eating turkey and Thanksgiving. I'm not stressed out about where my family's at. I'm spending time with my family. I'm spending time spiritually, physically. I'm not starving myself. I've been on fasted cardio. I'm addicted to health for the last 2 or 3 years. This year off has hated it, but they needed me for Georgia, so I waited for Georgia. I'm here. I'm gonna set this bitch on fire, like I said. Make sure they come back. Make sure everybody's entertained. Show BKFC why they can't leave me out for another year, though. They really got to throw 2 or 3 events. I got some plans. I know where I'm going, but anyway, can't talk about that. Yeah, but I'm gonna start with Derrick Findley's face. And when I put him in his place, flat face in the ceiling, we'll see where we go next. I'm just excited.
Kyle, can we not see the pro wrestling side here? Come on, man.
Of course, dude. Of course. It just comes out, dude. You know,
It's just
speaking
in
of
his
Detroit,
blood, man.
Hey, listen, I wrestled. We had we used to practice wrestling. It was a trampoline wrestling league that we started before we were allowed to go in there. But my name was Silver Dollar. And my move was the coin toss, and I'd put them between my legs, and I'd go heads or tails, and then I'd either slam them on their head or their ass, and it was like a suplex or a body slam straight to the ass bone.
That ain't bad, actually.
Yeah, let the
That ain't
crowd
bad
pick
at all.
it, dude. I'm telling you, we might have to bring him back. ECW, nobody's still. I got to stamp it. Don't be stealing that from me.
Fuck yeah, ECW is where it's at.
like
Shout out
it,
to them.
dude.
You know,
like that.
I love that shit, dude. With that being said, you got to talk to me a little bit about. So we've talked about your opponent and the way that he's been doing. What are your thoughts on in the time you've been away? BKFC's really seemed to pick up some steam, and you talked about Detroit. We just had BYB Extreme CEO Greg Bloom on, bro, and he was telling us that there's a good chance they might be rolling through Detroit. I feel like we need to see Bare Knuckle or see BKFC come this way too, man. Got to get the Hitman out here in Detroit.
Oh, dude. I know that David Philman is trying everything he can to get everywhere, every country, every place, all at once. And yeah, man, if they come to Detroit, I'll come up there. That's my city too. I'm worldwide, man. I got so much love because I respect everybody, and just I try not to burn bridges. Like I said today, man, I've been an asshole and I've done a lot of stupid shit, and I probably hurt people, but I've always been the type of person that's made my amends and build the bridges back. And as I've grown, man, made a lot of connections. So I have a home everywhere. And I'd love to come to Detroit with Jesse and them and be back in the city like I was in MMA and WXC. Was it WXC?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're still around, dude.
Yeah. I fought for WXC as the main event against a dude named Pretty Boy up there. At
Pretty Boy Troy Lamson?
Yeah, Troy Lamson, fucking Pretty Boy. He's the only one that slammed me on my neck. They gave him a TKO. I still ain't never been dropped by a punch. But yeah, I went to dive and take Pretty Boy's leg off. But yeah, I'd love to come back up there, man. My people got to see me take a loss there, man. I gotta come up. I bet you won't bare knuckle me, Pretty Boy.
Oh, hell no, he won't. Hell no, he won't. Pretty Boy Trey doing bare knuckle.
Hey, he tried to headbutt me and I kissed that little bitch, boy. He didn't like that. Mwah, fucking that's what he looked like. I thought he was trying to do. Little Pretty Boy. Hey, he's all right, though. He was a good guy. He was sweet. I know he was scared. He had to play tough against me.
That's funny.
I know Troy well. Now we're not like boys or nothing, but I've seen him fight.
No, he's very talented, but he's such a sweet. He plays like the character, but he's actually a sweet dude. But I'm talking about the fight personality. He was, I know he was shitting himself. He was having to play that one out.
Great, man.
Speaking of how things played out, dude, especially with you having, knowing pro wrestling too, you got to tell me, what'd you think of that whole Mike Tyson, Jake Paul thing?
I am so fucking happy that Mike Tyson got 20 million or whatever else he got to provide for his family after the world shit on him, and he provided us so much love and entertainment and inspiration, because there wouldn't be dudes like me without that motherfucker. And all you two-faced, non-halfway fans, y'all can fuck off, and I don't care if you ever like me. And most of them are the haters. So what I say is y'all love motherfuckers and y'all support us. And if we get paid to do some silly shit, support it. And I hope to God there was no illegal betting shit going on. I don't know what Mike, if he could have hit him or couldn't, but everybody's editing and playing all this like shit from politics to fighting. But fighting, listen, I've been in lots of fights. Things have happened. I've locked up. I've got confused. And if you go look at some of the fights, like when I fought Troy, that was not me. That was I locked up. He was not my night. I can sit here and say it's because I fell asleep and they had to have too much long of an intermission, and I was walking out and we had a 1 hour break because the power went out. Or there ain't no excuses. I can sit here and cry all fucking night. He whooped my ass. He slammed me on my neck, and I shouldn't have got slammed on my neck trying to grab his leg. And yeah, so I'm just glad Mike Tyson got the opportunity to do what he loved. Jake Paul's a real legit fucking boxer. He's not the best in the world, but he's making more money than the best in the world. And that's how it's always been, from football to baseball. We're playing games. We're characters. Love us or hate us, I don't give a shit. We're making money. I wish more people fucking hated me. I wish I was hated as much as Jake Paul.
Hey,
I get
that seems to be the thing now. The more you
maybe I just need to say fuck all y'all. Quit being this nice guy.
Hey, the more you're hated, the more money you make.
Yeah. 666 pick up sticks. Blah, blah.
No, dude, I'm with you though, dude.
I'm glad Mike made all that money and didn't get like really hurt. You know what I mean? For a 58-year-old man, like you said, he deserves a good payday. And
give Jake credit too because I give Jake credit too because I feel like he said after the fight, he was like, "Look, man, nobody that didn't need to get hurt. I feel like whether he was really trying to knock him out or not, either way, like you said, he got paid $20 million. His kids got to see him fight again in like a big style type thing because obviously all his younger kids are way too young to remember any of that. So to me, I feel like it gives him one more chance to go out there. Now he's talking about he wants to do it again. I don't know if I want to see it again, but."
I watched the fight. It was free. Nobody paid pay-per-view. I don't think he should have took the fight. As far as like if I were his coach or his friend, I'd say, hey, I'm worried about you. But I also the reason I said what I said earlier is just because man, I'm a fighter till I'm dead. You can't tell me how old or how young I am. And if I get knocked out, we could have get knocked out at 14. You get knocked out at 16, get knocked out at 40. And, man, talk about disabilities and everybody's equal rights and choice. Well, if I want to fucking die and sacrifice my life to entertain you, let me do it. I've been doing it my whole life, and you're going to take it from me because I'm too old. So I'm proud, man. God, dude, I would love to fight Mike Tyson. I'd do the same thing, man. I'd fucking fight him and I'd let him knock me out. Dog. I ain't gonna lie. I'd let him hit me, dog. I just want to know what Mike's got. But all jokes aside, Jake Paul, you did the right thing because I would have come and kicked your ass personally and blindsided you had you knocked Mike out at the end there.
Oh God, how do you add more hate to a guy like that? Knock out like the icon, right? That'd put him way over the top.
Yeah, and he definitely.
I think the only people that legit lost that fight is probably Netflix because they just proved that they couldn't handle the weight of the world.
My question is, they better figure this shit out before they have that football game on Christmas or Raw going over there in January.
Negative thing about that fight was it kept going out, dude. I had to watch it on my phone, my wife's phone, and my TV because we all went out at different times. But I could get the whole fight, but we'd have to swap from this to. I had 3 screens just to watch that fight.
Yeah.
Once Serrano got on, it was fine.
Well,
as soon as Amanda fought, that's when everybody went. Shut that shit down.
That was a hell of a fight, dude.
I ain't seen the internet shut down like that since Ray J and Kim Kardashian came out with that football tape.
Dude, they were saying at one point they had 108 million motherfuckers watching on that thing, so I could see why.
I'm surprised Mike's ass didn't break the internet, man.
Yeah, no, I think that might have been what started it. Everybody's like, hey, Mike's ass is out. Everybody's like, whoa. There goes the fucking stream. Sweet, hey, forever known as Sweet Cheeks Tyson. Yeah,
there you go. He made 20 million.
Dude,
got to show his ass.
That's what he got that 20 million for. It wasn't even the fight.
Right. And then it was even funnier because he was interviewing his kid.
Thing in the contract. It wasn't that he couldn't get knocked out. It's he had to show his ass, literally.
The funniest part about it is he had just gotten interviewed by his kid like 2 minutes before that, and he just turned around.
Yeah. Dude, did you see the reaction from Jake Paul in the other locker room when he was watching that?
No.
Did you get it?
No.
So Jake Paul was watching it on the screen as it was happening live, and they cut to him, and he turns back to like the people behind. He goes, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. No, I didn't see that. Yeah, no, I seen that.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You know, like,
I think we all said it at the same time. What the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
You know how many parents
are like the camera panned right down to
guys that are sitting there with their kids going, this is my Mike Tyson. He used to be vicious. Watch this. Shit.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, that's
dude.
That's good.
Hey, no, I told my wife after that, I was like, you know what? I get it now. This wasn't even about Netflix. Mike Tyson is starting an OnlyFans, and this was his way to sneak in.
Hey, man, let him get his bag like the rest of these chicks are doing. But speaking of the fights, bro, we had a hell of a fight weekend that whole weekend. What'd you think of what we seen between John Jones and Stipe and what we're hearing now with potentially him versus Aspinall?
Another smart man. He just he used the right words to get to the right place. And if he is gonna fight Aspinall and put his legacy on the line again, he's gonna get paid to fight a heavyweight of his caliber. because it's a dangerous fight, even if John Bones is twice as overall talented. Aspinall's young. He's powerful. He is very talented, and he's got one punch power from everywhere: kicks, punches, hooks, jabs. So I'm glad Jones is hyping it back up. I'm glad our champ came back because he's my goat. That dude is so good. The UFC hit him fast, and it took him a downfall. And again, everybody fucking turns and hates on him as soon as he gets it to win. I've always loved John Bones Jones through his cocaine, his strippers, his hookers. I didn't approve of his decisions, but he always had a good heart. He just had a lot of pressure on him, and people don't understand what we go through with our families and loss and injuries and cancer. We hide so much shit from people don't even know, man. And if they took half the time to know how much most of us fight because we love people. We don't know how to, we don't fit in nowhere else in the world. And we fight, we wrestle, we do shit to be men and do all these things. And yeah, man, I'm glad my champ's back. I'm glad he came out of the depths, because now instead of it just being him falling, he's an inspiration and has a chance to prove he's the GOAT. And somebody just said 3.5 Aspinall. Hell no. John Bones Jones is twice if Aspinall gets him one, if Aspinall and him fight 5 times, he wins 3 times. Just because. And in his prime, Aspinall has no chance.
Hey man, that's the thing. Like, Aspinall is a killer, but like, I'm just so glad that this fight happened, because like we were talking about this last week. And so here's my thing with that. In a lot of ways, this shows how the UFC's kind of like backed themselves into a corner with some fights, because think of it this way. Jones went and he fought against Stipe. He gets his win, gets the win over the, who I still consider to probably be the greatest heavyweight of all time, because he's still going to be the only one to be able to say he beat DC, Francis, and Ngannou, or not Ngannou. I said Francis. I meant to say, damn, why am I drawing a blank?
Derrick.
That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, he's the only one that's going to have the claim for that. And here's the thing. Like, if, say, John Jones said, fuck it, I'm going to call it a career. Now, John Jones never gets a chance to be able, or Tom Aspinall never gets a chance to unify the belts. So you're always going to still have the same problem that John Jones has currently, where it's like, oh, you didn't beat the real champ. And then on the other hand, it's a double-edged sword, because if you do the fight, which is what it looks like now, and Aspinall beats John Jones, well, now you just lost your only other big star, because we all know Conor McGregor. Who the fuck knows when he's going to end up back in the cage again? So I'm just saying, that's the crazy thing about this fight. Like, I don't know why it dawned on me that way, but like, if John Jones were to lose that fight, that would be like their last big guy.
No, because John Bones Jones losing that fight only sets up a part 2, because John wouldn't go out like that. So it makes millions of dollars no matter what. So it sets up, because there's going to be people saying that he's the GOAT, and John's not going to like that, and it would set up an automatic rematch if he loses. And only if he loses twice in a row would people say that his legacy was gone. It would say he's so valuable just being John. I mean, like, cocaine, strippers, hookers, pin arrests, DUIs didn't kill that man. If he can still come back, find out again, become champion, and he'll kick the champ into oblivion like that. I mean, yeah, anybody can do anything, man. I don't put it past them. You can't lose value in John Bones Jones. That dude's special. There's something, like, you don't explain why you like him. He has a cute smile. He's tall. He's good looking. He's charismatic. He's got personality. He's fucking talented. He out wrestles Olympic wrestlers. He brings in the best in the world, best leg lock grapplers in the world. I mean,
True.
That guy's amazing. Just phenomenal.
You missed the best one out of the whole press conference for me too. The thing that got me was when he said he brought the Taekwondo guy in that was coming to his house once a week for however many months it was, just to train doing the spinning back kick that he hit him with. And he goes, I did it on both sides so that I could hit it either way. And then, like, it's just shit like that always cracks me up, because it shows like the difference when you're talking about like the top level guys like that, how like they'll do like little things like that you'd never think of, but then you go and bring that out. I mean, to your point, I mean, take all the bullshit away from it. And I was one of those for a while where I was like, man, I love the guy inside the cage, but I can't stand all the shit that he does outside the cage. But the thing is, at this point, with him coming back and doing what he's doing at heavyweight, like,
he's as far as goat talk goes and all that, you can't really. There's no other argument other than John Jones, and I think it's smart.
He's a dumb son of a bitch, man. Let's all agree he did some dumb shit, and I wanted to smack him in his face. I probably wouldn't have. I mean, I wanted to because my son loved him. I loved him. He disappointed me, but I've done the same thing, man. So forgiveness.
Yep,
is for yourself, man, and I forgive him, and because he did so much more for our sport and for us and for fans and anything. He gave us somebody to hate. He gave us somebody to talk shit about and get our minds off our own lives. If you can't be thankful for nothing else, be thankful that he didn't make you think about how shitty your life is. So you didn't have to look in a fucking mirror, because we all had a lot of bad shit going on, and we got to talk shit about him because he deserved it. He was being a dumbass piece of shit when he had everything. But he learned from that, and he did come stronger, and that's why we can forgive him, and we can find inspiration 100%. From it, and we can be up, we can be down, we can be all the way around and come right fucking back. It's just it's in the moment. Today's the day. Tomorrow's tomorrow.
I see everybody on X saying it, man. We've seen the Michael Jordan of MMA, and you just got to be thankful that you got to see it while you got to see it. You know what I mean? That's just
he ain't got cancer. He's living. He's alive. He's still fighting. Yeah, we're all so lucky because there wouldn't be so many other of us if it wasn't for them. I always tell people one of my favorite sayings is, who am I? No matter how famous or how great I become or how many title belts, if there weren't fans, what good does it do to be a famous fighter with no fans? Would I ever want to fight in a room alone? That's why when the pandemic hit, that was the scariest thing in the room. It was pretty cool how loud the punches were. But fighting in there without your mother, without your father, the people that love you, and you know they're at home, but fighting in that gym, I can't turn on murder and put my life and my heart into it without my heart there, which is the people watching, which is the fan, which are the ones that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself, and they're the ones that turned on me too. And like I said, whenever people turn on you, it motivates you, because some people say, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. No, it's like, damn, I hurt the people who love me the most. I can't do this anymore. It's the difference between fear and love. So that's why I love John Bones Jones. He let his heart do some stupid shit, because that's what Pornhub does. It makes you, if you ever read your titles, you'll feel, man, all y'all would burn your phones if you read the titles after you clicked yes. And that's all that happens. He clicked yes on the wrong shit, and he's like, "Oh, delete." And, hey, let him delete it. Let him go.
Yeah. No, I still think
the most
the
wild
MMA fans are forgiving him too. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of times where guys like that just don't get the forgiveness from the fans, and I don't think he's one of them. I think,
man, he's got it now, because the other ones, the haters are just making him more money. Keep hating.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, with that being said, talking about John Jones, we've talked about Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, bro. You got to tell me. I heard the big matchup getting announced. Shout out to my guy, Miles Jury, who was in his corner for the last fight. But they just announced Jeremy Stevens versus Eddie Sanchez for Knucklemania, dude. What do you think about this? Why did I say Sanchez? Jesus Christ. Wow. I just said Sanchez. I meant to say Alvarez and got the thing right in front of me and said Sanchez. Jesus Christ. Fuck me. Eddie Alvarez, you can punch me when you see me. But with that being said, what do you think about that fight, dude? I'm looking forward to that shit. We've been heathen guys for a long time, but you can't not like Eddie Alvarez, dude.
I mean, it's a more size appropriate match. It's a legendary two fucking bangers that everybody, I mean, those guys could have grappled, they could have hugged, and they were not like that. They were fighters when they had the gloves on. So these two guys that like to bang, go out there and bang, man. At an event like this, it says Knucklemania to me. I'm paying for it. I'm buying it.
You got a winner in that one?
I'd like to fight both of them, to be honest with you. Yeah. I'd like to fight. I'd like all three of them to fight at the same time. That'd be the only thing. The only better matchup would be a three-way triple threat in the ring. Just add the Hitman to that list. Let it go. But yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I love them. Again, they're two like-minded, spirited OG fighters. They're bare knuckle. I think both of them define what it is to be one of us, and which is different than a lot of the others. And yeah, man, I'm excited.
I think that fight's gonna be a banger. So look, man, I feel like part of me would be like a traitor if I didn't say Jeremy Stevens, being that I've walked out to the cage with that guy for fights and things out here at the Royal Oak Music Theater. Always been a fan of his. I remember watching him knock the hell out of Rafael Dos Anjos when Brock Lesnar won the title in Vegas. I'm a big Heathen guy, but like I said, dude, I mean, the thing is, you can't. This one's tough because you can't sleep on Eddie Alvarez either, dude. I feel like this fight is definitely not going the distance. Somebody's going to go to fuck to sleep.
They both fight like that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying
Yeah,
whichever way it goes,
man.
whether that's Jeremy on the good end or Eddie on the good end, I just don't see this fight ending any other way than somebody going to sleep, which for us being the fans means it's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm not putting money on this fight. This is the kind of fight you can't put money on because there's going to be several guys go down and get back up, go down and get back up, and they're both so dangerous. They're both great strikers, defense, offense, but when you're as good as both of them are, the precision and the accuracy counterbalances, and you just have a vicious, it looked like two fucking guys barroom brawling. But it's not. It's just two really talented guys that can fuck shit up, and there's only so many places you can miss when you're that short and that compact. That's the thing about short guys like me and my opponent. I mean, we're short, thick, and wide. It's like shooting a shotgun from 3 feet away. If you miss, there's a problem. There's a fucking. It might not kill you, but you're just gonna get shot a lot.
Yeah.
I can't
Hell
wait.
yeah, dude. I can't wait for that fight, dude. Well, you know what else we can't wait for? We'll get to that in a second. Shout out to the guys at Potters of Destiny. I see in the comments. Joe, let everybody know where they can check out this fight. And for anybody that's sleeping, what's going to happen with you and Derrick Findley this week?
Man, December 6th at the Gas South Arena, not this Friday. Enjoy Thanksgiving. Get a good rest that weekend, and then 7 days from this Friday, we're going to tear it down, dude. And I'm going to go in there and show an evolution of Hitman. I'm going to give y'all that same viciousness. And if it goes 5 rounds, y'all get the blood and guts. It's just going to be coming from his face this time. And but I'm calling KO night and night, however long it takes him to quit being stubborn and realize that this is his last night. And I'm gonna welcome him to Atlanta with BKFC, baby, because this is my house. I said it the first time when I knocked out Will Shope. My house, but now my house is in my house. I'm adding on. It's my mansion, baby. Come on. We finna fight.
Hell yeah, man.
Dig it.
You heard it, man. Make sure you get the BKFC app. But J-Bone, we got something going on this weekend. Shout out to everybody who's checking it out.
Baby.
Come win you a fucking belt. We're giving away the big winged eagle belt. We got the party for Survivor Series. You got War Games this weekend. They just added CM Punk as the 5th guy for the Bloodline on this one. We're going to be watching it at the DraftKings Sports Place in Troy. Make sure you come through, get you some raffle tickets. You can win the big the winged eagle belt. I've got the big gold behind me. That's why I kept saying that. But with that being said, win you a belt. The tickets are cheap. Shout out to our guys from Potters of Destiny. I heard there might be a few people coming through. You can bring the kids. You can watch some wrestling. J-Bone, people have been asking for how long for us to bring these parties back, bro. It's going to be a damn good time.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a good time. Like Kyle said, bring the family, man. There's plenty to eat, plenty of food down there. Good food from what I can see on the menu. I'm going to be drinking pints. Kyle's paying the bar tab. It's
Who
all
said
good,
that?
Man. We're going to have a good time.
I work
We're
for
gonna
the
watch
post
Survivor
office. Remember,
Series.
I'm broke.
We're going to watch the Survivor Series, baby. It's going to be a good time, man. Come on, hang out with us in the Potters of Destiny.
Hey, I know. Hey, you know where you deliver those checks. I mean, nobody's going to miss them.
Yeah.
Hey, I gave up my delivering days a long time ago. I started as
I'm kidding. That was a total joke. I do not promote federal crimes. I do not show up. I protest peacefully, okay?
Fuck yeah, dude. You heard it here first. There was no male harmed in the filming of this episode of Knockouts and 3 Counts. Well, until next time, in the in-between time, you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Joe, you got to tell us before we let you go. That's a great one to end it on. What's the plans for Thanksgiving? Since you said you're right on weight, y'all chilling and watching the Lions kick the shit out of the Bears, or what?
So me and my wife are gonna go out at her parents' house. My father-in-law is one of my best friends. We shoot deer and hunt together. Since I've got the next 2 or 3 days to relax because I'm gonna go hard and do a lot of cardio. I just want to let my body, my hands rest, and let the family and the coach spend time with Thanksgiving. I'm gonna go eat, and we're gonna play shuffleboards. And a couple of my training partners that got family in other states that live here. My father-in-law, we got a big group of friends, and we all all my good guy friends that got family too far. We're gonna have a little Thanksgiving, play shuffleboard, throw horseshoes, and and then on Sunday get back to church, baby, and fight church and take it serious for about 5 more days.
What's the favorite Thanksgiving food? I was just telling somebody earlier, man, I'm not the biggest turkey guy, but dude, I can smash some fucking cheesecake, apple pie. My mom's got a dessert she calls the Kyle dessert that's like a damn strawberry shortcake deal. I'm ready to eat like a fat ass. So what's the
I
favorite?
can
I'm
hear
ready
you
for my
getting larger.
grandma's recipe cheesy potatoes. Y'all know when you go to Cracker Barrel, the Cracker Barrel hash brown cheesy potatoes. My grandma made those, but she had she mixes the cubes and the sliced ones out of fresh sliced potatoes, and then you take some of the little cubes, and then she puts onion and cream cheese and like 5 kinds of other cheese. It's like a souped up macaroni and cheese kind of, but like the cheesy potato. Oh my God, I love that cheesy potato casserole. My wife's gonna make it, and we're gonna chow down. Oh, and then instead of that regular oven roasted dry turkey, you got to deep fry Cajun inject your turkey. What? That'll smoke it with that Cajun. Either way.
Shit.
Oh, those make for good.
We're gonna smoke it and inject it around here. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
J-Bone, what are you snacking on?
We're gonna need a
dude?
bigger screen next Tuesday, Kyle, because my face is gonna be like this after eating all this.
This is one of the
food.
few things that's good about Crohn's disease. I'll still be the same size when you see me.
Hey, try BP 157 TB 500, man. It healed my IBS.
No
The
shit.
peptides are freaking amazing. Look into that for stomach stuff because it really does good with Crohn's, IBS, and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's a protein peptide receptor that heals your gut lining.
Dude, see, now this guy's helping me, giving me stuff to look forward to as far as fights. He's trying to fix my gut. I always knew you was a good guy, dude.
Health, baby. Mind, body, and soul. You already know, baby. That's how we started. That's how we finished.
You heard the man. That's Joe, Hitman 187 Elmore, man. Make sure you check it out. December 6th, Bare Knuckle FC. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Millions. Shout out to bodyslam.net if you're watching on there. And this Thursday, since we're not going to be doing a show because I'm going to be too busy stuffing my face and watching the Lions kick the Bears' ass. But in the meantime, we're going to drop our interview with Million CEO Matt Whitaker, talk about how him and Bruce Buffer got this platform going and all those things. Shout out to them. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Don't eat too much apple pie. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.